Hey there, Emma. I just wanted to let you know that I found that lunch that I made for you in the trash. Was there something wrong with what I cooked?
You mean that steaming pile of garbage you left on the counter for me? I'm going to be eating the school lunches from here on out. I don't ever want to have to taste your awful cooking again.
I don't understand what's gotten into you. I got up early just to make you your favorite. I know that you said you had a big meeting today, so I wanted to pack you something that you'd really like.
Ew! Don't ever say anything like that to me ever again. And just what are you trying to pull here anyways? You know we're not even related by blood, so I don't need you pretending to be my mom when we both know that you're not.
Emma, honestly, why are you acting this way towards me? I don't know what I did to you to deserve this kind of language. Why are you talking to me like this all of a sudden?
Oh, just shut up already, you stupid old hag. All the meddling you're doing is just negatively affecting me at work. I can't even focus now because I didn't have lunch at all, because it would mean I would have to force down your nasty slop.
That's not fair at all. I'm sure that there were other options you could have gotten to eat.
But it's not just the food, it's your whole existence that's ruining everything for me. And it's all your fault that I wasn't chosen to work on that big project for my job.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, the meeting yesterday was about presenting proposals for our now product line we're releasing for Mother's Day. I worked on my ideas for 6 whole months, but my bosses went with another person's designs. If you were a better mother, then I would have to know how to appeal to moms better.
Well, I'm sure you worked very hard, and I'm sorry that your idea wasn't picked, but you can't really think that it's my fault, right?
And just what is that supposed to mean? I know that my ideas were perfect, and the other girl who presented looked like she had just thrown her proposal together the day before. So what I want to know is why wasn't mine picked? And the answer is because I don't have a real mom.
What do you mean by that?
Well, this new line was meant to market to moms, but I bet people in the office knew that I didn't have a mom. And so even though I had a great idea, I wasn't chosen. It's all your fault. If you weren't in my life, then people wouldn't have panned my project.
Emma, please just calm down for a little and think this through. I know the feeling of not having your idea chosen. It can hurt your pride and sting you, but blaming other people isn't going to solve anything.
Just shut up already, you annoying witch. Why did I have to end up with you as a mom? Where's my real mom? Why isn't she here? I wish you were still here instead of you. You ruined my chances of ever moving up the company just by existing. Now this little nobody with half-assed ideas is going to get all the credit I should have.
Emma, please just listen to yourself.
No! You ruined everything! I had a plan all worked out and you blew it up. And also, your cooking stinks. I never want you to cook anything for me ever again.
Oh, Carly, are you there? I just heard that my daughter is engaged to be married, and I just have to know it's true. Because I heard that she's going to be marrying some higher-up who happens to work for a huge company. So basically, my little girl struck it rich. I couldn't be more proud.
Wait a second, you've heard that Emma's going to be getting married? I haven't heard anything like that at all.
You mean that you two live in the same house and you didn't even know that she was getting married? Just what kind of mother are you anyways? I mean, this is huge news, and you're hearing about it through me, her real mother?
But I'm still so confused.
Well, I suppose that means you haven't heard about the news from Emma yourself then. And I have no idea how to get a hold of her either. But I just heard rumors that she was getting married. That's the whole reason I'm messaging you in the first place.
Well, I suppose that I can just go and ask Emma myself. And just to be clear, you are nothing to Emma, remember? So while I'm grateful to you for sharing this news to me, I'm going to stop responding to you now.
Hold on just a second. We're not through here. You can't just take what I gave you and run off like that.
And just what more is there to talk about? You've told me what you heard and I said thank you, but Emma still thinks that you're dead.
You really are a terrible mother. Do you know that? I still don't get how you could tell a daughter that her real mother is dead when I'm right here.
Excuse me? The only horrible mother here is you, Sadie. Do you have any idea how much you've put your poor husband and Emma through? The whole reason Emma thinks you're dead in the first place is because Doug and I talked and agreed that it would be easier that way.
Oh yes, I'm always the bad guy, aren't I? I'm literally the worst mother in the world. But I still have my ways of getting information when I want it. Like, through some Doug's old co-workers, or old teachers from school that Emma went to. And I still haven't forgotten how you two sued me for spending all the money Doug and I had set away from Emma's education. I was pretty wild back then, wasn't I?
If you realize that, then please understand why we never want anything to do with you ever again. And that includes Emma.
Well, I'm afraid that you and I are just going to have to agree to disagree on this one. Because while I can admit that I'm a horrible mother, the fact of the matter is, I'm still Emma's mother. And what that means is that I want to get half of all the money Emma gets on her wedding day.
Wait a second, you're trying to take money from your own daughter's wedding?
That's right. I'm the girl's mother, and that means what is hers is mine. So I should get my fair share. I need money to pay back this latest lawsuit what I'm dealing with.
Let me guess, you cheated on another married man.
Well, this one wasn't my fault. The guy said that we would get married. He told me that things with his wife weren't going so good, but it was still taking too long for me. So I called his wife and told her to hurry up and leave her husband. But then, after they got divorced, the man told me that I blew up his life and left me.
And then the wife sued the two of you for the affair? Well, you can't pretend like that's anyone else's fault but your own. But how could you even think to want to use your own daughter's wedding money to pay off your debts?
Well, if you don't want to make Emma pay, then I have another idea. You can pay off all my debts in Emma's place. I think about $20,000 should do it.
I'm sorry, but no one is under any obligation to give you any money, and you have no idea what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? I kept my existence a secret from my daughter for 20 years. Do you think I'm going to keep doing that for free? Now, do you want to write a check or send it over an app?
Hey, Emma. I'm really sorry to bother you while you're at work, but we have something important we need to talk about.
Can you not leave me alone for a whole day? What could you possibly want now? You've already ruined my chances with the Mother's Day proposal, and now I have more work that I have to do.
Again, I'm really sorry to bug you while you're so busy, but you just never talk to me at home. There was something that I needed to ask you. Are you engaged to be married?
Wait, what? How did you figure that out? Who told you? I haven't even told my dad that I'm engaged to this guy, so how did you figure it out?
Emma, why wouldn't you tell your father and I that you were getting married? This is huge, amazing news and something to be happy about. Although I would have loved to hear the good news from you yourself.
Shut up, you nosy old woman. I was never ever going to tell you about my wedding, ever. But I guess somehow someone let the secret out and told you.
What do you mean you were never going to tell me? This is huge news. Why wouldn't you tell your parents this?
What did you just say? How many times do I have to tell you that we are not related? You are not my mom, and you need to stop trying to act like you are. You're just a faker, a phony. You're not my mom.
Of course I'm your mom. Who was it that raised you for the past 20 years, huh?
What do you want, a medal or something? You're nothing but an over-glorified babysitter to me. I will never ever think of you as my mother.
Emma, why are you acting like this?
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, I may as well tell you everything. I'm going to be marrying someone from my work. He works in the upper management of my company, and we've been going out basically since I started this. And not that long ago, he proposed to me.
I had no idea that you were even dating anyone at all.
Well, my fiancé's family is very rich and powerful, and they have a bunch of rich and powerful friends too. So I didn't want you getting involved since I know that you'd ruin it for me like you do everything else, and that's why I didn't say anything.
How can you say that I would ruin this for you? And do you really even think being related by blood matters that much? It doesn't change the fact that I was the only one raising you alongside your father. It doesn't erase all the past times we've had together as mother and daughter.
What times were those again? I can't seem to remember anything right now. All I remember is how many times you've gotten in my way. It's no wonder I hate you so much.
Emma, how can you speak to me like this?
And you better believe that I'm not going to invite you to the wedding. I'm only going to invite my dad. But there's no way I'm going to have my make-believe mom there.
What did you just call me?
I don't get why you're trying to talk to me like that. You know I don't think of you as my mom. Instead, I'm going to save a seat for my real mother who'll be watching me getting married from above.
Are you really sure you want to do that? Do you really think of me so little as your mother that you wouldn't even invite me to your wedding?
You are never going to know any detail about it, Carly. So don't bother snooping around for any info on it. The only mom of mine I want there is my real mom.
Well, if that's really what you want, I can just invite her for you then.
What do you mean?
I mean, you don't need to leave an empty seat for her because she can actually just come and sit there instead. I mean it, I'll tell her that you want her there at your wedding. I'm sure she'll be overjoyed.
Wait a second. What are you saying? Are you trying to tell me that my mom is still alive? But you and Dad always told me that she died in a car accident when I was just a baby.
That's right, we did, but that was a lie that your dad and I agreed would be better to tell you. Truth is that your parents divorced when you were very little and we thought you wouldn't understand, so instead we told you that your birth mother was dead.
But she's actually alive this whole time? My real biological mom. Yes, she has to be at my wedding. I need to have her there.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll just stay at home like the little faker that I am.
This is perfect. This is going to be the best wedding ever. Please reach out to my real mom and tell her that I'm so excited to meet her.
Get this woman out of my wedding right now. Please, do you think you could come over here and deal with this for me? I promise that you'll be my real mom from now on, but just come and help me.
And I was just about to turn on my favorite show while I sit down for lunch. What is it, Emma? What can your fake mother do for you today?
You might be a fake mom, but you're better than this horrible lady. She's completely ruining my wedding right now. I've never met anyone like her. She's awful. I can't believe that we're actually related.
Ruining your wedding? But I thought that you wanted Sadie to be there for you on this day.
Well, she showed up to the wedding and immediately grabbed a bottle of wine for herself and was just drinking it out of the bottle. That was a while ago, and now she's completely wasted. And she's just making a total mess of herself and my wedding. I tried to get her to meet my husband, and she just told him to meet him in the bathrooms in an hour. It totally ruined the whole mood for the day. Even when I tried to laugh it off and tell everyone she was joking, it was too late. And then she just started cursing at my husband's parents. Then she said that they'd all be family from now on and that she wanted them to send her a lifetime supply of wine.
Wow, well, it sounds like she was just making a fool of herself in front of everyone.
Then she tried to get all buddy-buddy with my future mother-in-law and started asking her all these perverted questions. Everyone was just watching in horror as my mom went from person to person saying horrible, vile things.
Wow, she really didn't hold back at all, did she?
And Dad didn't even do anything either. He just sat back and watched as it all happened. He just looked at me and told me that this is what I was asking for by insisting she come. The whole day was completely ruined.
Well, I have to agree with your father on this one. I knew that it wouldn't be a good thing if your mother showed up to your wedding.
How did it all come to this?
But don't forget that you were the one that said that you didn't want me there, so I'm not about to go and put out that fire for you. This is the wedding you wanted, like it or not. Maybe just think of it as a comedy show and you can feel a bit better about it.
What are you talking about? This isn't what I wanted for my wedding at all. How am I supposed to enjoy the day like this? My husband won't look me in the eyes anymore.
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's my place as your fake mother to say anything. So I'll just sit here and watch my shows now if you don't mind.
Oh man, my head is just pounding. I think I might have just a little too much to drink yesterday because I don't remember the wedding at all. But the venue handed me the bill because I apparently broke a bunch of stuff.
You really made a mess of it yesterday, or so I heard. According to Emma, you were quite the sight at the wedding. But I would pay that bill because it is very real.
Are you kidding me? This bill is for $30,000. I don't have that kind of money. You should pay it instead.
And just why should I have to? I didn't have anything to do with the wedding.
Well, isn't that just sad? So you really didn't show up to the wedding at all? I was really meant to take your place there? That's hilarious. But if that's the case, then you should pay for it then.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I don't care if you don't get it. Just pay the money. You're Emma's mom too, so you need to take responsibility for what her real mom did.
I'm afraid that I'm no longer Emma's mom. I decided to cut her out of my life entirely. You're gonna have to take responsibility for your actions.
What do you mean you cut her off out of your life?
I mean that I spent decades of my life raising her only for her to treat me like I wasn't real. I talked to her father and he agreed it was probably best. So anyways, this is all your problem to deal with.
But I can't pay this much money. Besides, I still haven't gotten any of Emma's wedding money.
If you want to negotiate that, you're gonna have to speak with Emma yourself. I'm sure she'll listen to what you have to say since you're her real mother.
You have to do something. My wedding was cancelled. My fiancé said that he couldn't marry me, and both his parents said that I could never be part of their family.
Oh, and you were so close too. Oh well.
My life is just one failure after the next. First, my proposal wasn't chosen. Now I've lost my fiancé, and I'm so embarrassed that I'll never be able to show my face at work again.
What do you mean by that?
Carly, I'm so sorry for calling you my fake mom. I realize now that you're the only mother I've ever had. So please, can you help me buy all these cancellation fees for the wedding?
Wow, you really just dove into asking for money, didn't you?
Please. My work isn't going so well, and I was just taking out my anger on those around me. I really do think of you as my mom. I'm glad that we all live together.
Well, that's not going to last for much longer since your father sold the house.
Wait, what?
Yep, we talked it out and we decided to cut you off entirely. And though we've been in this house for many years, it's time that we leave it behind. We've already signed all the papers and sealed the deal.
You have got to be kidding me.
No, it's the truth. You have until the end of the day to pack up your things. The real estate people are coming to inspect the house this weekend.
But then where are you and Dad going to live? I want to stay with you two.
I'm not going to tell you that because we never want to see you again.
You can't be serious.
So thank you for living with your fake mother up until now, but you can be free and live your real life now. After that, we threw all of Emma's things outside the house for her to sort through and drove off to live in our new home. I heard that Emma quit her job and moved into a tiny apartment where she's living now. She tried asking around to friends and family about where Father and I had moved to, but they kept our secret for us and no one ever told her. As for Sadie, she was forced to pay for the damages she's caused, and I heard she ended up having to borrow from some pretty shady people to pay it back.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey, Harmony, are you there? I got something to say to you. I want you and I to get a divorce.
Excuse me? Are you serious? That's crazy. You can't just drop something like this on me out of the blue.
Well, my daughter Joy is finally going to be getting married, and so I think the timing is perfect for this.
But wait, what do you mean by that? Why does Joy getting married mean we have to separate? Did I do something wrong? Are you upset with me? I don't get why you're acting like this.
I don't have any problems with you at all, Harmony. In fact, I feel nothing but gratitude towards you. You took me in when I was a single father, looking for a new wife. Then you raised my daughter as if she was your own child too. I have to say that I truly am grateful for all that you've done for us.
But then why? Why do you want to divorce me if you don't have any problems with me? I thought that this would have brought us closer together. I thought with Joy getting married and leaving that we'd have more time to spend with each other.
That's exactly why now is the perfect time to get out of this marriage. I can't stand the thought of having to spend more time alone with you. That's why I'm going to be leaving you and getting back together with the ex-wife instead.
You can't be serious. You're going to leave me for your ex-wife.
That's right, her and I actually started talking again recently. Apparently she heard that Joy was going to be getting married and she wanted to talk a bit with me. So then we start reminiscing and stuff, and before we knew it, we agreed to meet up in person. That was when she told me that she wanted to get back together.
Did she really say that? I don't believe this.
Well, apparently she hasn't been able to stop thinking about me ever since we got divorced all those years ago. She said that when she saw me when we met up, that it was like getting hit with a flood of emotions. When I saw her, it also stirred things inside of me that I hadn't felt in a long, long time. It was then that I realised that I did in fact want to get back together with her.
What are you talking about? You do remember that you've been married to me for over 10 years, right? Are you telling me that that really doesn't mean anything to you? How can you just cast me aside to get back together with your ex?
Because I realise that she's the person I want to grow old and die with, Harmony. Besides, I'm sick and tired of putting up with all your nagging and fussing.
But I don't even do any of those things.
Look, I've already explained to you just how thankful I am for all that you've done for me. Besides, my ex-wife wasn't suited to raise children at all. That's why she left me in the first place. She still wanted to enjoy her youth and not be tied down. I've been raising Joy as a single father ever since then. So I was never able to go out and party with my friends or co-workers. I was always having to worry about budgeting and cooking, and it just never ended. And that's why I'm so grateful for you. You stepped in, you took so much of the work off my hands.
I didn't take the work off of your hands, Tom. We just began to work together like a husband and wife should. I remember the first time that we met. You looked so haggard and thin. I just knew that I had to step in and do something for both you and Joy's sake. And now this is how you thank me for all the years of my life I've dedicated to you two.
Well, I'm sorry, Harmony. It's true that after marrying you, I had a lot more time and money on my hands, but it's also a fact that I just never felt any love between us.
You can't be serious about that, right?
Now look, I know that my ex was never suited to raise any children, but we still just have so much in common with each other, and she's the person I want to be with now. I mean, we both just love getting to go out and explore and shop together. But you're just so strict with money, and I feel like I'm hardly allowed to have any fun with you. You're always telling me that I can't just spend money on whatever I want, we have to prioritise the essentials, and I just feel like I can't do anything even in my own home.
Are you kidding me with this right now?
No, I mean, just the other day, I was telling you about how I wanted to get a new car. You said that I couldn't because there was nothing wrong with the car that I have now, remember? When I suggest going on a family vacation together, you complain about how we don't have the money to spend on things like that. I mean, what's the point of even working for money if you're not going to be able to spend it? I'm tired of living with a rat like you.
Do you really think that way about how we live? For whose sake is it that you think I've been trying to save money for, huh? The whole reason I'm always telling you to think about how we spend our money is because you don't know a thing about budgeting. I've had to hold back from buying so many things for myself because you don't know how to save.
So now you're trying to turn around, pin them all on me.
When we got married, you only had a few $100s to your name. And yet you were still asking me if I thought you buying a new car was a good idea. And we take plenty of vacations together, but we can't do that year-round. That's why we take one family vacation a year together. But we can't do that every month like how you want to. Besides, we need to think about saving our money so that we can put it towards paying for Joy's college tuition. But if you keep spending at this rate, I don't see how we're even going to have enough for ourselves when we're older.
Oh, please. We didn't need to save up any money for Joy's school. That's what student loans are for. I don't see why we'd have to pay for that just because we're her parents.
How can you say something like that? It's precisely because we're her parents that we should be working hard to provide her with opportunities for her to grow. It's the job of parents to prepare for this kind of thing.
Just where do you get off talking as if you're Joy's real mother, huh? You two aren't even related by birth. I'm the only real parent between us. You really need to remember your place before you open your mouth to talk to me about my daughter.
Excuse me? I know that you don't really mean that, Tom.
You want to know what I realised when I met up with Linda after she reached out to me? I knew that she was the only woman in the world who understood me. And now that she's finally gotten all her partying out of her system, it's time for me to take her back so we can begin our lives anew.
And I guess I'm just in the way of that then. And I guess we're going to pretend like I didn't spend 15 years of my life raising your daughter like my own child. I can't believe you're really just going to walk away from me as if I didn't save you and her from living in the streets.
Not just me, you know. Even Joy is, well, overjoyed that her mother came back to be in her life. She's so happy that we're going to be getting married again. So you just have to let me go already.
Okay, fine then. If that's really what you both want, then I know where I'm not wanted.
Good. I'm glad you understand. And don't you ever come near my daughter ever again. Got it? And that includes her wedding. I don't need you there, causing any unnecessary drama for us.
Harmony, are you there? Do you have any idea what's going on? I heard from my dad that the two of you were getting a divorce, and Dad said that he was going to be getting back with my biological mom.
Oh, Joy. I'm so sorry that this is all happening so quickly. Your father barely even spoke to me about it before it was decided. But at least your parents are going to get married before you and your fiancé. Well, so I'm sure that it will be nice to see on the day of your wedding.
What are you talking about? Nothing about any of this is good. I don't want Linda there at my wedding. I want you. Do you really think that I would want the person who had me and then ran out of my life there standing next to me on what's supposed to be the happiest day of my life?
I'm really happy to know that you feel that way, Joy. But I just don't think that I'm going to be able to go. And I'm afraid that you and I may never be able to meet again. Your dad told me he never wanted me to go near you again.
He said what? What is the matter with him? Doesn't he realize that you were the woman who raised me as far back as I can remember? You're the only person I would ever feel comfortable calling my mom. I don't want Linda back, or anywhere near me.
Joy? I never knew you felt so strongly about me.
I am sick of those two. I've always hated my dad, and I've always hated my mom. Especially Linda. She chose to run around and have fun and left my dad to be the one to take care of me with no help. And meanwhile, my dad was always complaining about how he didn't know how to raise a daughter. And so he was looking for someone to marry to help take me off his hands ever since I can remember. They're both terrible parents, and I can't believe they're both mine.
Joy, come now. You shouldn't talk like that about your parents. I mean, the whole reason your mom reached out to your dad in the first place was because you heard you were getting married.
No, Harmony, you don't get to. She didn't reach out to my dad because she was happy to hear that I was getting married. I bet that she's just doing all of this because she thinks that she can get some money out of it. I think she probably knows that I'm engaged to marry the CFO of a very large company, and that's why she's trying to convince my dad to take her back.
I really don't think that's what your mom is trying to do, Joy. Why is it so hard to believe that the woman who gave birth to you is excited to see you get married and take this step towards adulthood?
I am telling you that it isn't that at all. My mom is only out for herself because that's the kind of person that she is. She even reached out to me and was talking about my fiancé. She mentioned how rich he must be and then asked if I could start sending her money every month.
Wait, what? Did she really come to you asking for that?
She did. So I know for a fact that there's no way she's doing this all because she's happy for me. I don't care what my dad says. I want you to be there by me for my wedding.
Oh, Joy. You really don't know how happy it makes me to hear you say all these sweet things about me. But I just really don't think that your dad or Linda would appreciate my being there. And I'm also sure that ulterior motives aside, they both do really want to be there to see you walk down the aisle.
Hold on a second. I think that I've just come up with the perfect plan to fix all of this.
What do you mean? What did you come up with, Joy?
You're just gonna have to trust me on this one. But you have to show up to the wedding, okay? Please. You're the only parent of mine that I even want there. Linda and Dad don't care about me. They just care about themselves. If you aren't going to be able to be there, then I don't even want a wedding.
Well, this is just a beautiful wedding, don't you think? And watching my little girl get married to a stinking rich fiancé just brings a tear to your eye. This is probably the nicest wedding that I've ever been to.
Oh, really? Do you think this wedding is nice?
Of course I do. This is probably how people in Hollywood do it when they get married. And to think that Joy's fiancé brought along his parents too. It really saved me a lot of explaining I'd have had to do with this divorce.
Oh, trust me, the pleasure was all mine in doing so.
Ah, aren't you sweet? Well, Linda is sitting with me. She wants to say to thank you as well. It's all thanks to you that I'm back with my ex-wife and we're all one big happy family again. And look, Linda wanted me to tell you that she's grateful to you for raising her daughter up to be the kind of person who could score such a rich husband.
Well, you can go ahead and tell her that that is not why I raised Joy in the way that I did.
Wow, what's with the attitude, huh? Look, I know you're upset because she stole me back. Now you're left with nothing, but there's no need to be rude. Or are you just jealous because you know that you'll never go to a wedding this fancy in your entire life? But I suppose I can't blame you. I mean, you spent 15 years raising my daughter. With that hard work and money and effort, you aren't even allowed to watch her get married now. But at least Joy's real mum is here to help her celebrate instead, eh?
Oh, please, Tom, don't even pretend like you understand how I feel about any of this.
Oh, I know that I'm right about what I'm saying when you respond to me like that. Oh, I know it'll make you feel better. Since I'm already here, I can send you a picture of Joy in her wedding dress. That'll be sure to cheer you up, right? And maybe you can stop being such a grouch about all this. I know that we're divorced, and I really don't have any reason to keep talking to you. But I feel like a picture's the least that I could do. Just too bad that that's the closest you're going to get to seeing Joy on her big day.
I actually don't need to see a picture of her, thanks. I already have a great view of it from where I'm sitting right now. But anyways, I think the wedding is about to start, so maybe you should stop all your texting. Or better yet, why don't you just turn off your phone?
Wait a second, what? What do you mean you have a great view of the wedding? How'd you know it was about to start? Did you break in here?
No, I'm at a different wedding than you and Linda. I'm at the real wedding for Joy and her fiancé, so I didn't bother going to the other place like you two.
The real wedding? And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
Well, I mean that I'm at Joy's wedding with her to watch over her and give her away. But you all are just going to be watching a live stream of the real wedding, which I'm at.
Wait a second. A live stream of the wedding? What is going on here? I don't have a clue as to what you're talking about. The wedding is going to happen here and now where I am. I got the invitation from Joy, had the address for the venue, and that's where I'm at now.
Well, yes. You got the invitation to go to the auxiliary venue where we were going to set up screens for the guests we couldn't fit in the real thing to watch. Honestly, you should be grateful that Joy's fiancé was so thoughtful and suggested doing this since there were going to be so many people.
I don't understand.
Anyways, I know that you as proud parents, you two are going to really enjoy watching the stream. I hope you enjoy the show, you two. And I hope you enjoy watching my walk Joy down the aisle.
Hold on a second, Harmony. Were you telling the truth about two different wedding venues? This doesn't make any sense. You two aren't even related by blood. How come Linda and I just get to watch the wedding on a screen while you're there for the real thing?
Oh, well, I guess you two just weren't important enough to the bride or groom to be invited to the real thing. But again, you should be grateful that at least you have the opportunity to watch via the live stream.
I don't believe it. How can this be happening?
Well, it is happening, Dad. You kept putting Harmony down despite all she did for me. but neither you nor Linda were invited to the real wedding. And as of today, I never want to talk to either of you, ever again. The only parent I have left in my life is Harmony. Do you understand?
Excuse me, and just who are you to talk to your parents like this, young lady?
I think that I'm an adult who can make decisions for myself and determine who my own family is. And that's why neither of you are welcome here.
I don't understand. Where's all this anger coming from? I mean, you do realise that Harmony isn't even your real mother, right? But Linda and I are your real parents. You can't treat us like this. How can you just try and cut us out of your life like this? It doesn't make any sense.
The only person whose actions don't make sense around here is you. Harmony took us in and gave us all the support we needed 15 years ago, and you just leave her? You're terrible, Dad.
You don't know what you're talking about at all.
I know that Linda left you to raise me all on your own, but you only ever treated me like I was an iron ball tied to your ankle. To other people, you always put on the humble single father face and made everyone like you. But I know that you don't deserve an ounce of sympathy.
You're such a little brat. Look, you have no idea what you're talking about. Are you really saying that I didn't put in just as much hard work as Harmony in taking care of her? I worked, I cooked, I cleaned, and it was all for you. I'm even getting back together with your mum for you.
Oh, please, Dad, just stop it. You're not doing any of that for me, and you were overjoyed when you finally married Harmony because it meant having to worry less about taking care of me. I thought that things might finally change for me when you did get married. But all my life, I felt like you resented me for even opening my mouth. And you were always telling me to go to Harmony if I ever had any troubles because you told me you were too busy. You never wanted anything to do with me.
Is that really how I acted towards you? Even so, I'm still your father, and you need to respect me.
I don't care who you are. I'm an adult now, and you need to show me some respect too. But instead, you were always putting down Harmony and I for just existing. You don't get to call yourself my father if you were never even one to me in the first place. In fact, I never want to talk to you or Linda ever again.
Oh, come on, you're not really serious about that, are ya?
Of course I am. And you could go ahead and tell Linda I said as much too. Besides, she only ever came back to you because she thinks that she's going to be able to get some money out of this. Anyways, it's time for me to go out and get married. Enjoy the show, you two. Hey, Harmony, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming to my wedding today.
Oh, sweetie, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much for insisting that I be there. I know this was your big day, but it was one of the happiest of mine as well.
I promise to never forget all that you've done for me. And I want you to know that even my husband's family understands that I only have one parent, and it's you.
Well, I look forward to getting to know them all. After all, you're the only daughter I have as well. And please feel free to come over and visit whenever you'd like.
Give me back my daughter, you evil witch. I thought I told you to never go near her again after you and I were divorced. You're taking things way too far now. You ruined my relationship with Joy. You've blown up my whole family and made me watch my only daughter get married via a stream.
I'm sorry you're so upset over all of this, but you should know that this was all Joy's idea. She raised the idea of having a stream of the wedding to her fiancé, and he arranged for it all to be done. I didn't even know what her plan was until I showed up on the day of.
Mean that you had no idea any of this was going to happen at all?
That's right. So don't come to me acting as if I've brainwashed Joy or something. She acted on her own, and the decision to cut you out of her life was all hers. If you have a problem with any of that, I'm not the one you should be complaining to.
I've tried reaching out to Joy, but she won't answer the phone when I call her. That little brat, who does she think she is, ignoring her father like this? She's a terrible daughter. And it's all your fault. You did brainwash her against me because you're the biggest influence she's had in all her life.
But we're not related by blood, and that's all that really matters to you, right? Well, maybe you finally understand how a real family doesn't have to be bonded by blood.
Are you kidding me right now?
It's just what you said, Tom. Anyways, I'm quite busy and don't have any more time to waste on this conversation.
This isn't a game. You have to help me out here. This is all your fault and you need to make Joy take me back. At least tell me how I can get in contact with her new husband. Maybe he'll have the good sense to listen to what I'm trying to say.
You want to talk to her new husband?
Well, how was I supposed to know that my own daughter wanted to cut me off? Besides, I wanted to talk to him on the day of the wedding about getting a job with his family's company. And I wasn't even invited. You ruined my shot at a huge step up.
A new job? What's wrong with your current job?
Well, the thing is that I don't have a current job anymore. It wasn't like I wanted to just stop working though. But I just figured since my daughter was going to be marrying into the family, that I might be able to land myself a good job with them.
Did you really think that that was going to work?
Why wouldn't it? Linda and I both really want to work there, and I think we should be able to. So we really need to reach out to Joy's new husband. If Joy isn't going to talk to us anymore, then we need to go through her husband instead.
That is one of the stupidest things I've heard. I mean, did you really think that his family was going to serve 2 high-paying jobs to you both on a silver platter just because you're Joy's parents?
But I already quit my job. Besides, they have to understand that as her parents, we deserve to get something for all our troubles.
And that's why you think you deserve a job like that?
Please, I've already quit. You have to help us. I was looking forward to getting to spend the rest of my days with Linda, working a cushy job, buying whatever I wanted.
Well, I'm afraid that you two are just going to have to think of something else. I'm afraid that Joy has made up her mind about you two and told her in-laws not to treat either of you as family. So I think that even if you tried talking to her new husband, you still wouldn't get what you want. So you two are just going to have to learn how to make do with what you have. In the end, apparently Tom did find a way to talk with Joy's in-laws. But they told him that as far as they were concerned, Joy only had one parent, and it was me. Then they asked him to leave them and their son alone, since he had nothing to do with either of them, and they shut the door in his face. Tom tried to reach out to me again after that, but I ignored him until I finally decided to block him on everything. Now with no job and no prospects, Tom was desperate to think of something. Linda, however, realized that this isn't the life she was hoping for, and told Tom she wanted a divorce. Again. Tom did his best to keep Linda with him, but the fighting between only got worse, and even the neighbors could hear them shouting at each other.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.